Hi, I'm James Nelson, Vice Chairman of Cushman & Wakefield, and I'm here to bring you the Nelson Report September 2015 podcast. In my month's blog, I'm talking about how triple net lease properties are now looking better than ever. In my last report, we talked about where cap rates were in New York City. They're at historic lows. Walk-up apartment buildings are only offering 3.4% returns in Manhattan, with retail, which offers the highest return in Manhattan, at an average of only 4.1%. So investors who are now looking for yield are forced to go outside. Furthermore, a lot of my long-term clients who've owned property here are realizing that from a diversification standpoint, it probably does not make a lot of sense to have all their holdings here. And also with more management-intensive properties, certainly with multifamily, and the new rent guidelines, they're starting to say that going to basically a management-free type of asset, which much better credit, makes a lot of sense. So I just wanted to run you all through some of the numbers of what a 1031 tax-free exchange can look like when exchanging into a triple net lease property, and also using historically low interest rates to lock in some great long-term debt. So I recently had a client who sold a property in the low $11 million range. After brokerage fees and transfer taxes, which cannot be deferred, their net sales proceeds were about $10.5 million. Now, what I suggested that they do was exchange into $26.5 million worth of property, okay? So you are buying 2.5 times the amount of real estate for this exchange. The previous NOI, because we were selling this at a low 3 cap, was only $350,000, and this was really best case because expenses with this can continue to rise, capital expenditures can certainly eat away at this. But now, because of the larger purchase price and the higher cap rate, the NOI here is going to skyrocket by about 4 times, okay? So again, the reason here is we're selling at a 3.25 cap, but these triple net lease properties, this was a portfolio of 5 or 6 triple net lease properties that were ranging from a mid-5 cap to a low 6 cap. I'm not talking about buying 99-cent stores in upstate New York. We're talking about CVS's, Walgreens. I think there was a Buffalo Wild Wings in this portfolio at all at a low 6 cap. So you can see you're getting extraordinary increase in the amount of cap rate. I also suggested taking on about 60% leverage. So we're going to borrow $16 million. Today you can lock in the $16 million at 4% for 10 years. This is unbelievable and unprecedented. It is going to be on a 30-year amortization schedule, which is going to allow the bank to buy these properties for you over time. Okay? So to service $16 million of debt at 4% interest, you're talking about $925,000 of debt service here, okay? So what type of free cash flow then are we talking about? $600,000, okay? This compares to the $350,000 that they were receiving previously. Sorry, so that's almost 2 times the amount of cash flow that they were previously receiving. So what you're seeing happening here is that cap rate of 5.7%, you're getting positive leverage. Your cash-on-cash return is going to be over 6%. Here, you're not getting positive leverage. At best, you're neutral, and you're only getting, if you lock in 10-year debt here, you actually have negative leverage. So you can really see the power now, why people are taking advantage of these triple net lease properties and exchanging. The one thing to remember is triple net lease properties are not bonds, they are real estate. You need to look at the location because you still have to ask yourself what happens if that tenant leaves. If you have a Radio Shack situation, you want to make sure that you can put another tenant in place. And then the other thing is, look, the case that is often made is with the New York City proposition, they will say that, look, what you're giving up here is long-term appreciation, but with all-time low cap rates, I don't think there's a lot of people out there who are expecting large price growth like we've seen over the last few years. So it's definitely an interesting thing to look into, and please let me know if you have any additional questions on it. Thank you so much.